Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for taking time in your day. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys are part of this really awesome company called Mylett. And when I first came across you guys, I was reading the Our Story section, and it really had my mind blown by that part of your website there. But if you could, please tell me about Mylett and how did this whole thing get started?
Well, we had a death in the family, and it was Sarah's father, and there was a car crash, and regrettably he passed away. And when we were engaged, I was active duty military, and she told me this story, and I just thought, this is ridiculous. Like, we could change this. And the basic points are that there's the car crash with a semi truck and her dad. There was someone driving behind them who stopped the car, got out, and said, I'm here to help, but then didn't have any training, didn't have any supplies, didn't know to stop the bleeding, even with his hands, and being active duty and having special operations background, you get a lot of trauma training, and you're put in that environment quite a bit. And, when you're in that mentality, you think, like, how could this happen? And you realize that in the civilian world, that's the everyday norm. And so then it took roughly half an hour for the ambulance to get there, which I found out is that's the national average, because you have rural areas.
Sure.
And so, with just I think our mindset is, let's do something about this. So I quit my job. I was a combat engineer at the time. I was running a sapper unit, and then she's a nurse. And so I thought, well, I'll leave active duty, and together we'll look to do this with also her siblings who, are part of this as well.
Yeah. Wow. It sounds like you guys as a family, like, left jobs, moved all to the same
Yeah.
area. What was the reaction from people when you're like, we're all just quitting our jobs, we're going to go kick this thing off?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I guess because it ended up being a family thing, like, nobody was like, ugh. And especially because my siblings were a lot younger.
Gotcha.
When this happened, it wasn't like a huge deal. I mean, I was a nurse, so I could pick that up anytime if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But it definitely had its risks.
Sure.
There's, no doubt with that. And
well, we're not from Utah. We moved to a state we'd never lived in or knew anyone. We didn't even know anybody.
Yeah.
So
my wife and I
weird.
did that same thing when we moved to Idaho, so we understand that adventure for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just, kind of took it on and have made it work, and it's been good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love your guys' videos on YouTube and Instagram, especially the one that you guys did around the sunscreen is awesome, where you got this message from this guy, Carl. What made you guys decide to do this video? That was hilarious.
Yeah. So I think all that stems from,
Poor Carl.
I think it actually comes from me because, like, when you have a serious job, the only way to deal with that is to just almost not take it so seriously all the time.
Right.
Otherwise, the stress would kill you. And so I kind of brought that with me into business, where even the industry we're in, first aid, everything's so serious or boring.
Yeah.
And I thought, come on, we can still be mature and serious about this, but at the same time have fun.
Yeah.
And so that's why everything we do is like that. And so that guy, we get a lot of those messages, those emails. And so there's more coming.
That's awesome. Oh, so cool, so cool. Absolutely. And I love even just on your website, like, where's my dang order, and the boring stuff listed at the bottom. Like, just makes you guys a fun company.
Thanks.
And, so, I mean, you guys offer first aid kits, medic packs, tons of supplies, much more. What are things that are coming out in 2020 for you guys?
That's so we started this just us.
Okay.
We now have almost 30 people in just about 3.5 years.
Okay.
And about half the company is actively engaged in research and development and designing new products.
Awesome.
And so right now we're in the middle of releasing, we call it the EPB, the emergency pressure bandage. And it's basically just an improved pressure bandage from what's out there now. And that just got pushed on the website, but we haven't yet pushed it out into the marketplace or advertised it yet. And that'll happen after Christmas time, I think. We've come out with a new product that no one's ever done before called Super Skin, which is blister prevention and treatment in the same product.
Gotcha.
And so it looks like a Band-Aid, smells like a Band-Aid, tastes like one, but you just put it on before you get one or after you get one. And it's just crazy simple. And the price has been reduced. Like moleskin is useless in my opinion. This is a million times better. We've got shears, EMT shears, that same thing. Just they look the same, but massively upgraded.
We're also going to take a little more time to focus on med packs this next year, which is kind of our personal line that we created. And med packs is designed to be more of like a one-time use, but ailment driven. Yeah. And so it's kind of supposed to take the chaos out of an emergency. So the worst thing that can happen is you have an emergency, you open up your kit and it's just like, you have like 10,000 things and you don't know what to grab. Yeah. And so the purpose of med packs is for it to be very clear and concise. And so you open your kit and it says like major bleed. You pull the major bleed kit, you open it, it's got everything that you need for that problem. Yeah. And you can take care of everything with just pulling out one bag. Wow. And so we'll focus a little bit more on developing that.
And there's big ones, like she said, the major bleeding, minor bleeding, but there's also the day-to-day ones there's one that just says blister prevention and treatment. Sure. And that way, like she said, you open up the bag and the way that people think is in their head when they have an injury or an ailment, they think I have a headache, a blister, and so we named them that to just simplify it. And that was actually completely Sarah's idea.
I tried to make it, easy for people. There's been a couple of times, prior to this that I've used a kit or even our kits before we really started to get into the research and development side of things, where I was like, this is so obnoxious that I cannot find what I'm looking for right now. Because when you're in an emergency, you don't have extra minutes to be fumbling through stuff. Like, you're like, oh, what's this?
Or if you have kids that are just obnoxious and screaming because of no reason at all, and they just want the Band-Aid.
That would be us.
You want to shut them up as fast as possible. And so it just makes it faster. We're actually working on a kit, a new line called Oopsies, which is, again, Sarah's idea. And it was all about why isn't there any, and I get like, there is nothing out there for this, but she said, why is there not something for new moms or women in general? And she put together this just well-designed, attractive-looking, slim first aid kit. In one of them, it's built for women with kids. The other one is built for women without. But the one with kids has a little sucker inside, so you can keep your kids quiet. It's just crazy that this stuff isn't out there to help people.
Yeah. My wife is the mom that has the first aid kit with her always. They're always prepared for things. And when I got the first aid kit from you guys, she loves it. And we take it on road trips with us everywhere that we go. We take it when we go into the store. And my kids are 6 and 9, and so they're kind of like, I need a Band-Aid for everything. So I love that we have quick access to that stuff,
My little son, who's 9 months old, scraped his chin yesterday, and my daughter comes flying down the stairs with like a pack of her like dollar section Band-Aids, trying to put a Band-Aid on his chin. And I'm like, sorry, Beth.
Well, and I gotta say, we don't get mad at me for saying this, but we went to the Salt Flats with our daughter, and of course, like, we didn't have a first aid kit with us.
Of course.
And so she fell in the Salt Flats, which it's like sandpaper.
Olivia did, our daughter, who's 4, was 4 at the time.
Scraped her knee up, and so we took her back to the car. I carried her. She's looking for something to help her, and we realized we don't have a first aid kit, of all people. And so we then,
the irony.
Right. And then I'm like, all right, let's find some field expedient method here. So we got Taco Bell napkins And I think we found...
It wasn't we. It was I.
Okay. Taco Bell napkins, and I believe some tape.
No, it was...
Right?
I used Taco Bell napkins to like wrap it, and then I taped it on there with a lint roller.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is that we got back to the office where all of our supplies are and stuff to get equipment and things for her.
Yeah.
And she's screaming,
Oh.
"Don't take it off! Don't take it off!"
But it also like highlighted, one, we're terrible parents, and two, why didn't we have a med pack or our first aid kits? And it was a good experience, I think.
That is amazing, right? Oh, what a great story! That is awesome. One thing that I love about you guys on your website, though, you have the lifetime guarantee, but it's also made in the USA, right? For all this stuff, man. How important was it for you guys to make that made in the USA label?
For me, I think when we got married, I was in for 10 years at that point.
Yeah.
And she literally told me this. I kid you not. This is what she said. You can either marry the Army or you can marry me.
Okay.
And I obviously here we are. And so I had to choose, but I said, look, when I get out, I've got to be able to continue what I do here, which is I got to find ways to help. And so I thought, well, we could help veterans. We could help the nation by just trying to do this here, because as we were learning about first aid and for the first aid kit industry, we realized that every kit we found was pre-packed in China. And the people selling them, they weren't even looking at what was going in it. They just cared about the profit margin.
Right.
And when, if they can sleep at night, that's fine. But that didn't feel right to us. And so the Made in the USA thing is we love being able to give good people good jobs right here in Utah. And our goal as we get bigger and we grow bigger and bigger is to expand our operation, to find ways to actually bring manufacturing, like raw manufacturing, back into our building. And we want to touch it every step of the way. And so for us, it's kind of this badge of honor to be able to do that. And it seems like that's what people want. And it seems like they're willing to pay a couple extra dollars for it.
Yeah.
We love it.
Absolutely. Well, I wanted to transition to one quick question I love to ask all my guests. I'm a music guy, so I love to ask, what's your favorite type of music, or do you have a favorite band that you guys rock out to?
Uh-oh. You go first.
Nope.
No, you go first.
This is all you.
Okay, you're going to have to answer, though.
I know.
Her answer is Taylor Swift.
Okay.
That's what I left the house and Taylor Swift was on.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm a bit difficult. I'm a music guy, but I would say...
He's probably going to tell you some band you never heard of. So.
No, you probably have. I love Rancid.
Okay, come on,
Rancid is
awesome.
Rancid, Operation Ivy. I love Kvelertak, which is like Norwegian metal band.
Okay.
Just so you know, we are stark opposites of each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a T-Swift fan too. It's cool,
No.
In almost every way.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah, we are exact opposites. But I grew up as a musician, so I was in a Ramones cover band when I was 12. And,
oh, nice. That's awesome.
That's just how I grew up.
Very cool.
What about you? What's your jam?
I used to be just a pure metalhead. Rage Against the Machine, Korn, Rob Zombie, things like that. And I worked for Universal Records for a year, about 10 years ago now. And so it kind of opened up my expansion of music. So I listen to country and I listen to metal still, but I like going back to my roots of Korn and Tool and those type of music. All of it. My favorite band of all time is The Cars. So
yeah, absolutely.
But
we blast that. Our daughter loves Cars and Queen and
we're big Bunko players, my wife and I. So the Bunko playlist has a very wide variety of mix there. So.
Nice.
Yeah, but guys, it has been amazing to have you guys on the phone. This was such a great conversation. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day.
No, we're so grateful
Yeah.
to do this. Thank you.
Hey guys, thank you so much for hanging around. Really appreciate it. If you'd like to see more videos from Top Rated MMA and the Bearded Biz Show, please click the playlist and also hit subscribe to our channel. Become part of the Top Rated MMA and Bearded Biz community. We would really appreciate your support. Also, please leave a comment below. I will read and respond to all of them. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day.